Should I do the video like this? Should I just do it like this? Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Today, I am dressed to impress, right? I wanted to do something, kind of holiday party-esque, like evening party. I hope it worked. But yeah, I wanted to talk about all of the brands that I tried this year for the first time because honestly, a year ago, I was a little bit closed-minded about makeup in a lot of ways. I didn't want to spend a ton of money on like a single product. I was perfectly happy to just keep buying from ColourPop. But then, I don't know, things kind of shifted and I was like, you know what? I want to try some more things. I want to try some different things. Maybe there's a reason that people buy things that are more expensive than ColourPop. Maybe there are products out there that are better than what ColourPop can offer me. So that's basically what this year was for me. I was experimenting with all kinds of new brands and I found some really great ones. So stick around, let me tell you about it. Last year was the first year that I, got into makeup and everything. So I tried only just a few things and most of it was ColourPop. Like I started off with like NYX and e.l.f. And then I got into ColourPop and then I tried BH later on. Who else did I try last year? Juvia's Place. Not a ton of brands though. And then this year was my year to kind of like branch out, try more things, get into more indie brands, some more mainstream stuff, some more expensive stuff. Stick around for the end of the video for a surprise. Or at least it was a surprise to me because I did not plan on buying anything from this brand this year. And then it just kind of happened. Okay, let's backtrack to the very beginning of the year. I put in an order with Lethal Cosmetics at the very beginning of the year. Or maybe it was like spring or something, but it was around the time that this palette came out. This is the Night Flower palette. This is what it looks like. Super beautiful, super wonderful. I got this palette, I think when it was like restocking, because they're an indie brand, so generally they have to like make product based on how many people are looking to buy it. So I didn't get it in the initial release, but I bought it in the restock, so I had to wait around a little bit for it to come. But I also ordered this little custom palette that I'd made, which was, kind of the main reason that I wanted to buy from them. I really wanted this and this. These are both beautiful multi-chromes. And when I saw them, I don't remember who I saw talking about them originally, but when I saw them, I was like, oh my God, those are gorgeous and I need them. Look at this palette. Isn't this awesome? Isn't this an awesome little palette? Originally, I had a different shade up here because this one, the one that I wanted, was actually out of stock at the time that I was making this palette. But now I have it, and that other shadow is in a different palette. But so one of the first brands that I tried this year was an indie brand. They're based out of Germany. Super awesome. I have bought a couple more palettes from them. Actually, it was just I bought 2 more palettes, 6-pan palettes, just filled with multi-chromes from them. I really want to try their new palettes though. Mostly the red one. I don't remember what it's called, but anyway, I do really like this brand. Definitely want to buy some more stuff from them. They've come out with a lot of fun stuff this year, but I've kind of been holding off on buying anything just for now. So that was Lethal. And then another brand that I tried for the first time in, I guess, the spring. No, you know what? It was before the spring. So I had heard quite a lot of talk about the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette, right? But like Huda Beauty is a a little bit more high-end brand. Their stuff can be kind of expensive. Their bigger Italian-made palettes are $65. Actually, the ones in the plastic packaging are a little bit more. They're like 67 or something. I don't even remember. But at the time, I was really not spending that kind of money on eyeshadow. I mean, I spent some money on my multi-chromes, but that's because they're multi-chromes and they're pretty expensive. But I kept thinking about the rose quartz palette, and I was like, you know what? I think I really want that, because when I first saw it, I was like, that kind of looks boring. But the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I think I'm really into that. So I decided that I was going to probably get it. I was waiting around for the Sephora sale, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna get it in the spring Sephora sale. But then I saw that this palette was on sale. This palette was half off for quite a while. This is Mercury Retrograde. This palette was on sale from Sephora for quite a while, and they actually phased it out. They're no longer selling it. But this was my first time trying the brand, and like, this cool color story. I really do love this palette. I haven't used it nearly enough. I think I used it like 3 times when I first got it. I did 3 different looks. I did a blue look, a pink look, and like a purple look. And I loved all of them. But I really need to dip back into this. I don't know. I just kind of like moved on after I did those looks, even though I do love this palette. But I tried this and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get rose quartz. I really like the quality. I like the shimmers. They're really beautiful. I'm just going to get it. So I ended up actually getting rose gold first, because that one was on sale on Huda's website for like $40. So first 2 palettes that I got from the brand were Mercury Retrograde and Rose Gold. But I did eventually end up getting Rose Quartz. I also got Naughty Nude, and I ended up getting the Love Fest, the little 9-pan, and I more recently got the New Nude because that was half off. And I've really been enjoying the brand. I do really like their shadows. Another brand that I tried for the first time this year was Odin's Eye. Now this palette my husband bought for me for Christmas last year. This is Judy's collab palette with Odin's Eye, the Red Dragon palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. And for the longest time, even though I had it last year, I kind of kept this pristine because I wanted to save it for a special occasion. So this wasn't even the first palette that I tried from Odin's Eye. It was the first one that I got, but it wasn't the first one that I tried. The first palette from Odin's Eye that I actually tried and like put on my eyes was this one here. This is Angelica's collab palette with Odin's Eye. And actually, I know I like always talk about Angelica. I probably sound like I'm obsessed with her. I got the idea to do this video from the video that she just posted today, or at least today while I'm filming this. I swear, I'm not obsessed with her. I watch her videos a lot. She posts quite a lot, and I watch like all of them. It's very rare that I skip one of her videos because I really enjoy them. But yeah, this was her collab palette, and I had just started watching her at the tail end of 2021, right before she moved here to the US. She is living in Texas now. And this palette came out early this year. I don't remember exactly when. I don't remember if it was like before or after the Sephora sale, but it came out, I think, in the spring. Was it the spring? I don't know. But I was excited for her, and I thought it was super cool that she had the collab. And then I saw the palette and I was like, you know what? That's wicked cool. I'm going to get that. It's beautiful. It's Angelica. And I mean, look at that color story. And then these this is a multi-chrome, and then this is like a really strong, sparkly duochrome, but it's gorgeous. I really love this palette. And ever since I got this one, I was like, okay, I think I need to get some more palettes from them. And then since I tried that one, I did also try this one. This one's amazing. And then if you saw my recent video about the Black Friday sales and stuff, I did also buy 2 more palettes from them. This one came out in the summer, and I've wanted it ever since. Finally got it. This is Soul Mana 2. And then this was the Alva. This is the original? Yeah. So this is Alva. And this was on sale for half off in the Black Friday sales, so I grabbed it. And then I also tried their face products as well. I tried, this is actually the blush that I'm wearing today. I don't know if you can see. And then this is a highlighter. I'm not wearing this one today because I didn't think it would go with my look, but this is a green highlighter. It's really, really good. I love it. So far I've told you about my, kind of initial experiments with indie brands because, well, I guess I had tried BH last year and they were an indie brand at the time. So it wasn't my first time ever trying indie brands, but I was buying from indie brands over in Europe who, are not as easy to access here in the US. And I told you about my first sort of experiments with trying more expensive, sort of luxury high-end brands when I told you about the Huda stuff. But the major surprise of this year, the thing that, I mean, if you've been watching my channel, you definitely know that I love this brand. When it came time for the spring sales, I grabbed some palettes from Natasha Denona. So I had been looking at her palettes and trying to pick which one I wanted to try, or maybe a couple that I wanted to try. And I saw that these two were only available on her website. They weren't available from Sephora anymore. This is the Love palette and the Sunrise palette. Beautiful, beautiful palettes, but not available through Sephora, so I wasn't going to be able to get them in the Sephora sale. But they were on sale together as a package deal. I think I only got like $10 off of each one, but it was a package deal. So I ended up buying these together the night before the Sephora sale started. And then the next morning when I woke up, I ordered the Retro palette from Sephora, and I got, I think, 15% off. So this is the Love palette. I'll show you what it looks like inside, just in case you haven't seen it. But I mean, this is a great color story for me. Pinks and purples and a little bit of red. I love this palette. This is the Sunrise palette. Honestly, I was really surprised by how much I love this palette. There's a lot of like yellow and orange, but also these sort of, well, over here, like these sort of pinky purpley tones. And I ended up really loving this palette as well. I need to dip back into it. It's been a minute since I used this one, but I do really love this one. And here's the Retro. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous cool tone pink palette. Love this one as well. And so I bought these palettes because I really liked the color stories. A lot of her palettes are kind of more neutral leaning, but I felt like these ones would be more suited to my taste. And I tried the formula, and I had heard a lot of people say some very good things about the formula. They said that it was really, really amazing. And you know what? It really is. I was pretty blown away by the formula. I ended up buying quite a few more palettes from Natasha Denona throughout the course of 2022. So that was another hit for me, even more so than I think any of the other brands that I bought from this year. If you have been watching me, you probably know that I've done some first impressions videos with the newer Natasha Denona palettes. And I have 3 of her bigger palettes. So I've got a whole bunch of her eyeshadow palettes now because I just fell in love with the formula. I fell in love with the color stories. And yeah. I dove right into that one though because I bought 3 palettes right off the bat. But I just figured that I would like it. Everybody said that the quality was really great, so I was like, I'll trust it. Then another pretty surprising thing that I ended up loving this year, another product that I love, I tried Patrick Ta this year. This is the Major Dimension 2 palette. You can see in the reflection, I bought more gnomes. Wait, see my gnome? There's a gnome, there's another gnome, there's another gnome, and there's a gnome outside. So that's another surprise. Who knew I was going to become a gnome guy? So the story with this one is kind of funny because I had seen this, online when it came out. A few people were talking about it. And, I looked at it and I was like, that's boring. That's just a neutral palette. But then I saw it in person. I went to Sephora. I saw it. I swatched it. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, that's kind of awesome. And I mean, it is awesome. I love this palette. I've used this palette quite a bit throughout the year. I always want to like use it more, but I'm always like, God, I have so many other palettes I should be using. So I don't pull it out super frequently, but like for special occasions and stuff, I definitely do. I've worn this to a wedding. I've worn it to like date night and stuff. I really love this palette. I think it's so gorgeous. I mean, it's perfect for me. Like, for me, pinky neutrals are like ideal. My finger is like behind the palette. For me, these like pink neutrals are ideal. I love pink neutrals. Um, but I also really love these deep, delicious shades. I've swatched this one here on the channel before, but that shade was like the selling point for me for this palette. I really love that shade. I love this palette. And this is the only thing that I've tried from Patrick Ta, but I definitely want to try some other things in the future. And I'm honestly really looking forward to seeing what he does if he makes another major dimension palette in 2023. I don't know if I hope that it's like cool tones or with like some grayscale going on, or if I would rather see, gosh, like I've been thinking about this a little bit recently. I kind of would like to see like a sort of berry, purpley sort of toned uh, palette from him. I don't know if he would ever do that, but I feel like that would be cool. Another brand that I ended up trying pretty early on in the year. Actually, I think I ordered from this brand around the same time that I ordered from Lethal. So it might have even been before all of these other brands that I tried. Um, I bought a bunch of palettes from this brand. I'm only going to show you the one because there's a lot of them. And some of them are really big like this. But this is the Bright Matte palette from the Beauty Bay brand. It's called By Beauty Bay, but that's kind of annoying to say. So I generally just call it Beauty Bay. Beauty Bay was a makeup store before they started selling their own products. But their products are really, really good. They're based out of the UK. And I mean, this palette, beautiful, really good quality, really pigmented, really beautiful. I have nothing bad to say about this. And I have a bunch of other palettes from them as well. Look at the range of colors. Like, I even, like, look at the neutral row. Like, this is such a good palette. But yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff from them early on in the year, and I've bought more stuff from them since. I just really like the brand and I like the quality of their shadows. So that one was another hit for me. Now, another kind of surprise for me this year was another indie brand that I tried. Recently, I tried Nomad. Look at this beautiful palette. This is the Hudson Valley palette. And I'd heard of Nomad before, and I'd seen their palettes, heard a lot of good things about them. Obviously, I watch Angelica Nyqvist. She loves indie brands in general, but she really likes Nomad. I hadn't really been super drawn to their color stories though until I saw this one, honestly. And like, it's a Hudson Valley palette, right? I live in the Hudson Valley, so that was a draw. But it's also an autumn palette. It's a fall palette. Look at the autumn leaves on the trees. Like, this is my favorite time of year. I love this theming. And then look at the color story. Look at that bright red. I love a bright red. Like a nice intense red. Like, that's a big draw for me with an eyeshadow palette. And look at this beautiful autumnal color story. I absolutely love this palette, and it made me want to buy more from the brand, which I obviously did in their recent Black Friday sale, so you'll be seeing more of these palettes in the future. Another brand that I tried this year is another kind of expensive mainstream brand, or at least this palette is expensive. I got this in the Sephora VIB sale. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but this is the Lightwork Volume 4. This is from Danessa Myricks. This is a beautiful multi-chrome palette. I do have some multi-chromes from indie brands, but I really wanted to try this because it's this big palette with all of these different multi-chromes in it, all in one place. The only downside, unfortunately, is the weirdness that goes on in the center of this palette. So because I don't necessarily love the formulas of the 4 big pans in this palette, it makes me kind of feel like I don't know if I would want to buy more from this brand in the future. I'm still, the jury's still kind of out whether I am really into this brand. But I mean, the multi-chromes themselves are gorgeous. They're really, really beautiful. No complaints about that. Just, you know, this shade here and then this one up top, these are water activated shadows, which is really strange. You can make them into a paste with water when you mix them with water, but they become wicked sticky. I tried all of these formulas the other day. They become very, very sticky. And then these two are like flakes, and you have to really dig your finger in there to get them to loosen up. And then you put them on, and I don't know, they are very vibrant and shifty, but they do kind of give me an issue, at least, because it makes my lids look super wrinkled. So I don't know how I feel about the middle row of this palette, but the standard issue multi-chromes are very nice. Another brand that I finally tried this year that I've been wanting to try since last year is Kaleidos. I finally got the highlighter vault. I also tried one of their blushes, and I also tried their new face palette. I used this today. I also used a couple of the highlighters today. I don't know if you can see, but I have this more peachy one on like my cheeks and like up through here. Very soft peachy shade. And then I have this very bright golden shade on like the highest point here of my cheeks, some on my nose, a little bit on the forehead. So I just combined the two. This golden one is called Solar Sailor, and the peachy one is called Ray Rider. But this is the vault in its entirety, and I was so excited to try these highlighters and this brand. I think next year I'm definitely going to have to try their eyeshadows because I've heard a lot of people raving about those as well. But I'm definitely really happy that I finally got to try them because I've been wanting to for quite some time. Okay, I think I've finished with brands that I tried for the first time this year. I'm going to tell you a few that I bought from but still have not technically tried yet. So first, let's do Sigma. I have tried their color switch. I love the color switch. It's amazing. I cleaned all my brushes recently using the color switch, and that was like much needed, and it made it easier and just better. This is the Corda Rosa palette. I also bought a palette from them, and I bought some brushes, just a couple. There's a brush in here as well. I have not tried this palette yet, but I think it's so gorgeous and I'm so excited to use it and see how it is. I mean, people rave about the quality of their eyeshadows as well as their brushes. So I also have not tried the brushes. I want to try the brushes and the palette together. So still waiting on that. I have so much new stuff. I have to like do everything one at a time so I can really get an idea of how I feel about these products. Another indie brand that I guess haven't tried yet, but I've purchased from this year for the first time. This is from Fantasy Cosmetica, and this is the Sorcerer palette. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at those. Look at that middle shade. I'm so excited to use that, and I keep putting it off because, like I said, I'm kind of like taking everything one at a time, and so I'm not quite ready to dip into this palette yet, but I'm so excited. I love this palette. It's so beautiful. I've heard very good things about this brand, and they have 3 palettes. They're all really beautiful, but this was the one that spoke to me the most, so I'm definitely excited to try this one. But yeah, trying them for the first time this year. I mean, I guess, or maybe I'll try it in the beginning of next year. Am I going to have time to try this year? I don't know. But I bought from them for the first time this year. And finally, the thing that blows my mind, the thing that a year ago I was like, I'm good with, ColourPop, and why would anybody spend all that money on makeup and high-end stuff? And like, obviously I bought Huda, I bought Natasha Denona, but like all of that was kind of like, I can get it on sale. It's like kind of reasonable. I can work my way around the high prices. Let me just show you what I got. I don't know if I'm ashamed. Oh gosh. I did it. I bought I bought a Pat McGrath palette. So this here is the Utopian Dream palette. If I could open it. Opens up like this. Super gorgeous. Super luxurious. Packaging is super heavy, super luxe, super nice. And this is the color story. It is beautiful. I'm really excited about this shade. I don't know if I can show you. Look at how it shifts. The shifty shades from this brand are really, really beautiful. I'm really excited to try this. This part of the palette reminds me a lot of the My Dream palette from Natasha Denona. So it has some similarities. Actually, even this shade here, this shifty shade, looks a lot like the one from the Natasha Denona palette. But this is really different and special and beautiful. And I've seen people use it in videos and stuff. I think it's so gorgeous. Let me just like tell you how this ended up happening. So all these sales were going on, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. I got all this stuff and all these sales, and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna swear off of buying eyeshadow at least until like the Sephora spring sale, because I just bought so much eyeshadow. I don't need eyeshadow for a long time. And I need to swear off buying any kind of makeup stuff at least until like, let's say February. Like at least until February. No makeup stuff. And eyeshadows, like I said, even longer. Definitely wait until like the spring sales and stuff. But then they were having a sale. Pat McGrath was having a sale, and you know what? I just keep hearing about this damn brand. People just keep talking about it. And I'm like, why is everybody raving about this damn brand? Like, I understand that Natasha Denona's formula is like amazing, and you know, it's kind of worth the price, right? I mean, you know, the price of makeup is like hiked up like crazy, but it's like almost kind of sort of worth the price. But with this, I don't know. I still haven't tried it yet. As you can see, it's pristine. I have too much of the stuff that I need to be trying. But like you guys, people rave about this brand. So I bought a palette, and I'm gonna have to give it a try, you know? I'm gonna have to form an opinion. But that's not all, because you know what, guys? I went to TJ Maxx the other day, and it's so funny. I'm going to bring up Angelica Nyqvist again. But she was talking about how she had heard that you could find these palettes at TJ Maxx. I was at TJ Maxx not even thinking about this. I was looking to see if they had any interesting BH stuff, because sometimes they have BH stuff there. Like I found some of the Sweet Shop palettes there. So I was like, maybe, just maybe, they'll have a Sweet Shop palette just tucked away. They didn't. But you know what they did have? You guys. They had the Bridgerton collection from from Pat McGrath. They mostly had stuff from the first wave. So I got the palette from the first wave. Beautiful. By the way, $25. This palette, when it was initially released, $65. I got this for $40 off, dude. And look at that. Look at that. It is different from the one in the Utopian Dream. I did compare them, well, in the pan next to each other. Utopian Dream has a very pink shift. This one, it's like gray to blue. I'm very excited to try this palette. This is beautiful. But you guys, I was not anticipating buying this. I was not anticipating finding this. I went over there to see if they had BH, and lo and behold, and I had no intention at all to start trying Pat McGrath this year. But you know what? Life is unpredictable. I also got the blush and highlight palette from the first wave. Gorgeous. Super excited to try this. Look how beautiful. You don't get to look for very long. And then they also had, oh no, there were two of this. I found two of the eyeshadow palette from the second wave. I think the first one I picked up, it kind of looked like somebody had touched this shade. So I looked around a little bit and I found another one. So I don't know for sure that it was touched. It was just like a little mark. And I was like, is that from a finger? But I found this one, so I grabbed this one instead. This one's gorgeous too. Look at this. Look at this one with the bumblebee. Look how cool that is. And this shade here, it's like a mint. I'm super excited to try these. But you guys, I had absolutely zero intention of trying Pat McGrath this year. Zero intention. And yet here we are. Okay, so let me stop rambling about Pat McGrath. But honestly, like, of all the brands that I tried this year, there's only one that I'm like, maybe I'm not feeling this brand. The rest of them, I mean, I haven't necessarily tried enough from Patrick Ta to be like, oh yeah, I really like this brand. I still really also haven't tried enough from Nomad to say that I like the brand, because even though I've tried this palette, the other two that I bought, I still haven't really messed with yet. But lots of wins this year, lots of brands that I really like. Some brands that I still have to try. But yeah, a lot of goodness. So I'm definitely happy that I branched out this year. I'm so happy that I found Natasha Denona. I'm super happy that I'm not just like sticking with ColourPop anymore. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing ColourPop today. I'm actually wearing some shades from palettes in this Manifest, this, what do they call it? A vault. So that's what's on my eyes. It was supposed to be like a fun, like holiday thing. I did a short. Hopefully you'll see it. But yeah, if you didn't catch it, maybe check out my channel. You can see it there. You'll see which shades and palettes I used from the vault. And oh, I also am wearing some lippy products from them. I don't want to take them out, but they're from these. I finally got these. I bought them in the sale. But anyway, I guess I'll tell you what the shades are. So the lip liner is in the shade Bumble, which is that one. And then the lippy stick, I used a combination of Oh Snap and Cami. But yeah, to think that last year I was just like, nope, I'm just going to use ColourPop and nothing else. Hey guys, I'm cutting in here before we close out the video because I forgot two things. First of all, I completely forgot about It's Belle. I tried It's Belle this year. This is the Break the Rules palette. I fell in love with this palette real quick. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. Definitely want to try some more of their stuff next year. They have like a fruit themed collection of multi-chromes that they came out with. I actually really like that. I want to try that. I want to try the other palette that's like this. Definitely a brand that I'm going to be looking into some more next year. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about is basically my top 3 brands that I didn't try this year, but I definitely want to try next year. So my top 3 brands that I want to try next year are Unearthly. A lot of things were tempting me this year from Unearthly, but I never ended up buying any of it. I was really into those beautiful Halloween palettes that they came out with. But it just wasn't the right timing. I didn't want to drop the money on those products right at that time. I was buying a lot of other things. And I came close. If it weren't for the fact that they had sold out pretty quick, I probably would have ended up getting them. But the owner of the brand has said that she might bring those palettes back, just with different packaging, because there were licensed images on the packages for the Halloween release. So if those come back, I might have to get those. Another brand that I was so close to trying multiple times this year was Glamlight. There were several things that came out this year that were really tempting me. Honestly, I was so close to getting the Scooby-Doo stuff. If that stuff's still available, who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe I will still get it. I don't know. It's kind of... I don't necessarily need any of the things that they have to offer over at Glamlight because I have so many colorful palettes in my collection. I've wanted their cocktail hour palettes for quite a long time, but every time I look at them more closely, I'm like, you know what? I kind of have all this stuff already. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying them in 2023. And then the last brand that's like on my top tier, like brands that I want to try next year in 2023 is Divina. Divina is another indie brand. All 3 of these are indie brands. They sell a lot of single multi-chromes and they're really, really beautiful. And I've been wanting to get some of their stuff for a long time. They look like they're really good quality and really vibrant multi-chromes. So I'm most likely going to be making an order with them at some point in 2023. So yeah, they're not in any order or anything, but my top 3 brands that I want to try next year: Divina, Unearthly, and Glamlight. By the way, this is the second time that I'm filming this segment of this video because, oh god, I tried filming this. I put on a lip liner that was really dark and really purple, and I was expecting it to be more brown and not as intense. Let me just show you quickly what I looked like. Oh god. See, I didn't realize that this lip liner was going to be purple when I put it on. I thought it was going to be more brown. I was going to try to do something neutral, but this is what it turned into. So I put on a really crazy outfit, and now I look like, I don't know, more Halloween than Christmas. Is it distracting that I look so crazy? This was not the lip that I meant to use. I look like a ghost or something. I don't know. It's got like a cute sugar plum thing going on, if you want to look at it that way. Yeah, so that's why I'm refilming this. But yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Let's get back to what I filmed yesterday. Okay, so that's a wrap, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed. And let me know what brands you guys tried this year, because, like I said, I tried a lot. And it was a good year. Good year for me experiencing makeup. Like the video, subscribe, tell your friends about, me and how wonderful I am with this YouTube thing. Or you could offer up some very polite, constructive criticism if you think I suck. But yeah, I'll be seeing you, on Christmas actually. My next video is going to go up on Christmas Day. So I'll be seeing you then. Peace out.